Good evening. I really don't feel like beating around the bush. Wink, wink. No, you're listening, Georgie. But I guess I'll start with my date of birth. I'm going to give out some information I ordinarily wouldn't give out, but seeing as how my enemies already have it, might as well release some things to the public. I'm sure you have some questions. I have questions. A lot of questions. I was born in Texas, August 8th, 1970. I was born in Bell County, Texas, Darnell Army Hospital, Killeen. My first full sentence was, "What's up, Doc?" So now you can see I'm a Leo. Capricorn is my rising sign. My North Node is in Pisces. I don't know who you are. But yeah, I do believe I'm living in my true North Node. Not really sure what else to say. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. Kind of books I like. I love paranormal romances. I love Christine Feehan. Another author I really like is Faith Hunter. Jane Yellow Rock series. Music, I'll listen to pretty much anything if I like it. I do smoke. I do cuss. I've had the human experience just like everybody else. I don't know everything. I always did like superheroes when I was a kid. Loved my Looney Tunes. I grew up when we only had cartoons on Saturday mornings. Loved watching cartoons with my dad. Did not have easy childhood. I have not had an easy life at all. I've been bullied and abused by family members. I've been bullied and abused by school teachers, by peers, by neighbors. And just like I'm sure a heck of a lot of you in here, the system, which has got to go. We need some major reform. The reason I have the Justice card displayed here is I just never really felt like your typical Leo. Something about me was different. I was introverted, and that was probably a result of what I had to endure growing up. I was always fascinated with, and please don't get upset when you hear the word occult, but occult, which I prefer to call esoteric wisdom, always had an interest in the esoteric. Had a love and a fascination with astrology since I was probably 10 or 11 years old. Spent my early adult life from the age of 16 to 22 with a terrible, terrible drug habit. Got hooked on methamphetamine. I got hooked on cocaine. I had other addictions as well. All seemed to go hand in hand with it. Bottomed out at about 22 years old. Went to rehab. Got back on track. Made it on one 12-step meeting a week. And got sobered up and got cleaned up. Gosh, I just don't know what to say. I'm trying to anticipate what questions you want to know. Long series of events, and misfortunes and calamities, and just plain flat out black magic. I ended up homeless twice. And all I can say to my enemies out there is while you were laughing and you were gloating and you thought you were cute, you did me a favor. Because in that process of being persecuted, in that process of having everything you had thrown at me, I had a wake-up call in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It was in July. It was in 2009. My vehicle broke down. I was traveling from Montana, Helena, Montana, to Maine with my then new husband, who was another scum of the earth. Not going to mention names. Anyway, I started having really bad health problems. Really, really bad health problems. And I was in a period of what seemed to relapse. The symptoms were clearing up. I was feeling better. But in the process of moving, my vehicle went down, and I found myself in Cheyenne, Wyoming during, I think it's Frontier Days or Pioneer Days. Really, really enjoyed that. Stayed at a shelter for a little while until we could get bus fare to get to Maine. And I was sitting on a floor in our room in the shelter, and I was doing a jigsaw puzzle, and I just wasn't feeling right. And my then husband, and note this very well, what Jesus said about people doing miracles in his name, laying hands and they heal and they recover. And he says, "Get away from me, I never knew you. Let me tell you something. This man I was married to was a filth bag." But he laid hands on me because I wasn't feeling good. And he started praying for me. And he said, "Lord, come on her. Come on her, Lord, in power. Come on her, Lord, in power. In Jesus' name." And something happened. I still have a hard time wrapping my head around. I suddenly found myself going out of my body while I was still in my body. It's like you're suddenly in front of a movie theater screen. Everything is ultra high definition. You can see every single tiny detail. And I was aware of what was going on in the room around me. My husband and my 2 children were trying to get me up on the bed and lay me down because I'm sure it must have looked like I was having a seizure. Because what I was experiencing was realer than the reality we're in now. I don't know how else to explain it. And I had gone out of body while I was still in my body. I don't know how to explain it. And I was looking west over Cheyenne. And I was in the clouds. And the clouds started to take shape. Sorry, it's hard to talk about. This was really intense. And go ahead and plagiarize it. Go ahead and try to claim it. You're not going to get it. None of you. I already know where you're going to go with this. We expect it. You'll be tested. Don't worry, you'll be tested. That's to my enemies. The haters. I really don't care. You want to hate me? Get in line around the block with everybody else. Have a nice long hate. The way I see it, you can get over it or you can die pissed. Really don't care what you want. So zip it. Anyway, I saw the clouds rolling in. And the clouds started to take shape. And suddenly I was face to face with a white buffalo. I could see every detail. I could see every hair, and she was spotless. Not a speck of dirt. Not a speck of dust. No drool from her lips. gumming up her fur, because I was raised around animals. I know they can get pretty funky, cows especially. Her horns were black, like obsidian. Her eyes, her nose, her lips, her hooves. She was not an albino. She was a true white. And all of a sudden it was like when you're viewing in a camera and suddenly the shot pans back, and then I could see that she was made of clouds and she was running on the clouds. And on her right was a white buffalo calf. And it was also a true white. Black hooves, black nose, black eyes, like black onyx. Well, about that time was when my then husband and my 2 children picked me up and they laid me down on the bed. And all of a sudden everything changed. And now I found myself standing on the Bighorn medicine wheel. Outside of Wyoming. It's not far from Cheyenne, I think. It's somewhere close to Cheyenne. I found myself standing on the medicine wheel up there, the Bighorn medicine wheel. I was standing in the east side of the wheel, and I was looking to the west. And the sky was all red. There was mist along the ground. I was looking at the Rockies. I think it was the Grand Tetons. But the sun wasn't setting in the west. The sun was rising. It scared the hell out of me. But I was in the vision and I couldn't come out of it. And then I became aware that on the northwest edge of the medicine wheel, walking towards me out of the mist, were 4 Native Americans. And I don't know how I knew who they were, because some of them we don't even have photographs of that I know of. But I knew who they were, and they were 4 great men. It was Sequoia, it was Sitting Bull, it was Crazy Horse, and it was Chief Joseph. And then the scene panned back again. And I wasn't at the medicine wheel anymore, but I was still looking the same direction. The sky wasn't red anymore. It was clear. And it was like those paintings you see, where God's hand comes down out of heaven, and it's all white, made of cloud. And the hand came down out of the sky, and he placed his thumb on my forehead. And he said, I call you blessed, daughter of the morning. And I came out of it. Scared the religion right out of me. Okay? I still held on for a while, but finally I had to let a lot of the religious stuff go. I haven't let go of spirit. I haven't let go of God. So that started me on a search. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more about the white buffalo. I wanted to know more what it meant. What does it mean if you see a white buffalo? I'm not even Native American. I'm white. I was told that we had Cherokee in us. I don't know whether or not that's true. But at the time, that was what I was told, and I just could not understand why I would see a white buffalo. And what does it mean to see a white buffalo with her calf? This was all a mystery to me. And it put me on a search. I kept going to Native American, anything and everything I could read on Native American, and it was just so discombobulated. There were bits and pieces of what I read that I was able to absorb and apply to my spiritual life. But I found it was easier for me, esoterically, spiritually, to search and research the Maya. So that was where the majority of my journey led me. And when I had pretty much exhausted that, then I started looking into other teachings. I don't want to bore you all too much. That's a little bit of my story. To my collective out there, the 144,000, and I got news for you clowns and you liars out there. There's more than 144,000. And that passage of scripture that you deliberately twisted and added words to in Revelation, it does not say that they were not defiled by women. It says they were not defiled. Period. So I want my collective to know, yeah, they've drugged us. They've done rituals on us. They've violated us. They've taped us. We already know what they've done. I already know what you clowns have done. I already know. Enjoy that curse. We cannot be defiled. The church would have you believe that you have to be absolutely chaste. That you have to be an absolute virgin. That is baloney. Sex is sacred. Tired of the lies. But try to find the words. Be sensible about it. Have respect for yourself. Have respect for your partner. Have respect for others. Nobody wants to watch you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever you are, whatever you are, grab assing each other in public. Put some damn clothes on. I'm tired of looking at people's butt cracks. I don't know what's going to hop out of there. Jeez. Unreal. Oh, sorry about that. It's disgusting. I get tired of it. I think we're all tired of it. But what I wanted to say to my collective is, no matter what's been done to you, no matter what's been done to us, no stain can stay on us. We're His. We can't be defiled. No matter what they've done to me, no matter what little bit of information I've got about her, it doesn't seem to me that He really gives a damn about that. I can't wrap my head around my groom. I don't understand it myself. Was he really a man? Was he a really God? Was he like me? Has he been incarnating here the whole time? I don't know. I don't have those answers. Did he ascend to heaven? Yes, I believe he did. But he also said he'd never leave us or forsake us. Do I believe the price was paid on the cross? Yes. Saturn requires flesh and blood. Adonai is Saturn. Without the shedding of blood, there can be no remission for sin. So He gave up everything He had for us. I absolutely believe that. And I have asked myself, I don't know how many times, why is it that we're still here? If He paid the toll, how come we're stuck in here on reincarnation? And I think I figured it out. Because this whole thing is a matrix. It's a construct, whatever you wish to call it. And that this whole thing has been an experiment in free will. And it created a virus. And that virus is evil. And evil has led to a virus that has overrun this machine. And this I am going to tell you because Spirit has shown me this. This machine, this realm that we're in, it's called the devil. That's the name of it. Go check out the Aryan videos I posted about the devil. And he's been fighting tooth and nail to keep us in here. I don't know if it's personal. It's just the way he is. Doesn't mean I like him. Doesn't mean I approve. But that's what it is. And I believe what's happened is this thing's been set and reset and spliced and redone and copied, and I don't know what all they've done to this, whatever we're in. They kept us in the dark. They treated us like mushrooms and fed us BS. So we didn't know who we were anymore. And now we're waking up. Now we're beginning to remember what it was he taught us. Know ye not? Ye are all gods? Well, what is a god? A god has superhuman powers. A god has the power of creation. A god has the power to judge. And a god has the power to shut it down. Know ye not? Ye are all gods. And I think what happened was enough of us had to wake up. And for a long time, I thought it was a percentage of the population had to wake up. We hadn't reached 60%, or we hadn't reached 70%, or we hadn't reached 80%. And now I'm coming to realize that that's not what it was about. Yes, a large number of the population on this planet is now awake. But hidden within the population were these, and there are more, 144,000. And they had to be woken up. When all of them, and I don't know the exact number, but we're going to go with 144,000. When the 144,000 wake up and realize who we are, now we can go home. We're angels in the flesh. We've had the human experience just like our Lord. You think we'd leave you in here? You think we'd sit there on the clouds and watch you suffer? I even believe that was the case. It's not going to happen. And you've got to understand that this is not real. It's not real. We have enough video games and AI and technology these days. Has it ever occurred to you that at some point we got so advanced that we decided to create an experiment? That we came in from a place where everything was freedom? And we said, let's try free will and see what happens. We couldn't see what was going to happen. We couldn't see this evil that was going to go down. It happened. And I'm tired of everybody blaming it on Lucifer. Gee, Manee. Lucifer's one of us. And he didn't fall to earth because of pride. That is a total lie. You want to know the real story of Lucifer? Start with the story of Superman. There was a disaster on his planet. His mother and father did the only thing they could do for him. They put him in a capsule, a meteorite. And he was ejected into space. And he came to be here. And he had superhuman powers. Did he come to destroy humanity? Hell no, he didn't. He came to help him. And I'm tired of the bad mouthing about Lou. That's what we called him. The Irish. Find it ironic that I live in the town named after him. There's one here in the east and there's one in the west. Lewiston, Idaho, Lewiston, Maine. How about that? Yeah, I live in Lewiston. Lose Town. And by the way, I did not lose the pentagram, or excuse me, the pentacle. I did not lose the pentacle. It was Lou's, and Lou now has it back. If you think you can run into a portal and retrieve it, well, I'd like to see you meatheads try. Go ahead. But Lou and I made a trade. Lou left me something much, much better. Stay tuned, because tomorrow night we'll discuss it. Love to all. Stay safe.